Alright, now that we've cleared out that rocket launcher out of our inventory space, we can now put all our handgun and handgun adjacent weapons and ammo right towards the top of the case. Keep our sandwich, or our rifle and shotgun sandwich going, although honestly, maybe I should reorganize that a little bit, given how little space the striker takes up. There we go, there we go. I'm not too particular about where I'm placing all of my grenades at this moment, but yeah, that looks a lot better, and we'll just put this red herb off to the edge, waiting for its chance to be combined. And welcome back to Let's Play Resident Evil 4. Last time we had an embarrassing show against Dos Gigantes, so I'm hoping to, redeem myself a little bit, and hey, immediately got a green herb there that I can just combine off with that red herb. There we go, some full healing. Well, just to keep everything in a row there, let's just move that first aid spray up instead. Want to make sure, yep, I've got the crown fully combined there. We are, of course, going to sell that immediately. And I'm also going to be selling something that you might not expect me to sell at this point, but we've really passed the point where I really have any strong desire to use these. So let's move on down here and sell off our incendiary grenades. We really do not have any serious use for these going forward in the game. No more enemies that they're particularly effective against are common, and the handful of times I do want to use them, we're probably going to find some in the environment anyway, so I can just sell those for 1,000 extra pesetas per incendiary grenade, and save a ton of inventory space in the process. We'll also sell off all our green eyes and red eyes and blue eyes. No more butterfly lamps left in the game, so we don't have to worry about hanging onto these. Sell off our velvet blue, and yeah, 48,000 pesetas for the Salazar family crown, since we so seldom get to hear the merchant say this in the GameCube version.
I'll buy it at a high price.
It would not be wise of me to talk over him saying that. It would be untoward, even. We can also get some new upgrades here. We'll slowly be getting more capacity upgrades for the TMP. Getting that 200 bullet capacity upgrade is really helpful there. We haven't been able to use it for a while, as well as some capacity upgrade or upgrades for the Blacktail here. The most important upgrades, well, we can get a firepower upgrade for the Broken Butterfly, as well as a reload speed upgrade. But I'm not going to be investing any more upgrades into the Broken Butterfly. It's good enough as it is, and the last time I'm going to use it is coming up very soon. Then I'm going to sell it to get some cash for upgrades that I care a little bit more about. We've gotten the secondary traits of our guns, the firing speed and reload speeds, more or less maxed out for most of them, so we're just going to be seeing firepower and capacity upgrades going forward. Speaking of, we're finally able to purchase some upgrades for the Striker. Now, I strongly believe that it is actually a bug or an oversight in this version of the game that you're only able to upgrade the Striker now, because this is the only time where you come across a single merchant where he'll actually roll out multiple upgrades for a singular weapon at once. In this case, we can upgrade the Striker to level 3 in capacity and firepower, as well as get an upgrade for its reload speed while we're at it. Very strange. All future releases of the game actually have the Striker available to upgrade from when you first purchase it at the end of Act 4-1, which is actually much appreciated. Speaking of things that are much appreciated, a little love letter here for Leon. Letter from Ada. Once a Plaga egg hatches, it's nearly impossible to remove it from the body. But if it's before it hatches, then it can be neutralized by medication. If it does hatch, you might be able to get it out by surgery before it turns into an adult, but it won't be easy. There's a high chance you won't survive the operation. As far as I know, the girl was injected with the egg before you. Her time is ticking. You should prepare yourself for the worst-case scenario. Well, not exactly reassuring, but I do appreciate that she kissed it to make it all a little bit better. Moving out here, as you can see, we are at the base of the castle, though not within the castle proper. That tower is particularly ominous. Moving out into this central area here, there will be a treasure that is very easy to miss, one of the handful in the game that I actually had to use a guide to locate. This bird's nest right here is devious. It is so easy to just blow right past it, and it blends so seamlessly into the environment. We have got some guys who heard my shots there, but as you can can see, we're able to rapidly put them down with the superior firing rate of the Blacktail. Look at that. These guys also don't have that much in the way of health. We could go for a little bit of stealth here to try and get the drop on some of the guys who are just singing Kumbaya by the bonfire over there. Let's just get in a little closer, and yeah, we are going to want to just send this guy sailing into the crowd. And now that we've got a bunch of guys clumped up, time to take full advantage of our newly upgraded striker. Oh yeah, look at that. Triple kill. Come on, guys, get in. Come and get some. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Ah, this is beautiful. I'm glad I thought to do this. We got double Plagas here. No match for the striker. Look at that. Oh, so good. You're not doing much better, my friend. Goodness gracious. That was worth the price of admission, I gotta say. All the pesetas we spent on that, immaculate. I love it. Now that those guys are taken care of, there's a few things we want to investigate. First off, you want to look in this well. There's a couple of ladders you can climb up, but that's mostly just to get a vantage point over these guys if you'd like to engage in some sniping, which I really did not feel like, so we are just going to pass that up. If we look down here, looks like we got some kind of trap door, but no obvious way to open it. Another door that sticks out right here is locked, and offer the sacrifice to the lion. Looks like we're going to have to fetch another fancy key if we want to get through that one, so we'll have to keep that in mind for later. Get another flash grenade here. Remember, I always like to keep at least 2 of those on hand. They are very, very useful in a variety of situations. In fact, of the grenade types, they're going to be the most consistently useful going forward, I'd say. There's a number of situations we can absolutely trivialize if we make effective use of flash grenades, so never forget that you have access to them. Rotating this little crank here gets us a trapdoor we actually can open, and this will be our next major set piece for this area. This time I'm actually going to remember to examine the scenery details here, because I realized that I blew right past that altar in the Vistador cave in the previous video. It just gave us the hint that 2 lights will shine the way forward. Up ahead rests the offering to the lion. Well, takes all that space to just say that? Eesh. I didn't realize that Spanish was such a space-inefficient language. My goodness. Anyway, yes, it kind of gives away the ghost there. We're going through this to get our next key item, the offering of the lion, which of course we use on the lion head to open that door. We've got a few guys posted around this little maze here, so we can just use our rifle to get some of them taken care of. Get that Plagas that had the rather unfortunate burst there. Heard that guy coming. We can just use another quick rifle shot to finish him off. Now, there are a few things that are hiding for you in this maze. Not particularly well hidden, but hiding nonetheless, so be sure to be thorough with your exploration. Let's also shoot through these bear traps here. Not wise to let ourselves get caught in them. We are just going to take that guy down with a flurry of handgun shots, because I don't actually know offhand where all the guys are positioned. Okay, oh god, hear that guy. Thank you for warning me. Detrás de ti, imbecile. You are so gracious to just give me that little bit of information. I think I hear a chainsaw, and yes, there is a Dr. Salvador. Boy, it would be really horrifying if there were 2 Dr. Salvadors, but what are the odds of that? Anyways, we are just going to utilize our Blacktail here. Again, the fire rate of this gun is immaculate. It deals damage so quickly. I grabbed a Velvet Blue back there, and over here we get a Staff of Royalty, another decently valuable treasure. It is actually very easy at this point in the game to be out of money, depending on the kind of weapon route you've been going for. Fortunately, I've cleaned that up quite a bit over my various playthroughs, and obviously if I'm not buying guns I have no interest in using. Also a pretty easy way to save money there. Here we've got another Velvet Blue, and it's the last one we can find in this little maze here. Once again, I would like to just take out these bear traps. I always take out all the bear traps because I'm so bad about losing track of them and accidentally stepping right into them. We're going to take advantage of our rifle here to just hit this Dr. Salvador and send him down here. He's actually got a dapper little jacket on, which, you know, I gotta appreciate. I gotta respect that. We're also going to utilize the TMP here to just absolutely obliterate this guy real quick. so we will just use that. Actually, while I'm at it, a bunch of guys spawn in behind you once you come up here, so be sure to send that ladder down, and there we go. Dr. Salvador is no more. We're actually going to let those enemies come up. We get a nice little stipend of pesetas there, plus a yellow herb. It's been a while since we've had a chance to use one of those. I'm going to utilize my striker here to control this crowd. We'll let them get in a little close here. Fortunately, this first lady has a knife, so she's just going to charge in at us, and we will utilize our striker to massive effect here. Yeah, this guy is committed to it. He's coming in, he's like, you know, I can see a problem here, but I am consigned to this fate. And you know what? In its own way, I have to respect that. We'll send this lady down as well, and just wait for this guy to get in. Oh my goodness. People, there is a more effective approach you could be taking here, I'm sure. Wow, it is just a conga line of guys. I can't even be mad about the plagas here, because they're just making it so easy for me. Beautiful. And we will just use the blacktail for this last guy. We're actually a little light on shotgun ammo, which is a little unfortunate. Ah, God, he's stumbling towards me. I should have probably backed up there, but I was willing to take that risk, just to keep things interesting. You know, I like to live dangerously. Alright, let's get our striker back out, because I have a feeling we're going to need it for something down here, and that something would be a second Dr. Salvador. Man, talk about tempting fate. It's not like I didn't know this guy would already be here. Anyway, send him to the ground with a striker shot, and just completely obliterate his nutsack. Not his potato sack, his nutsack. Well, I guess that's a valid euphemism. I'll allow it. Hey, some shotgun shells. I'm in desperate need of those. And another 10,000 pesetas. Game just throwing money at us here. Honestly, it would have been nice to have that grenade earlier. I could have pushed the ladder down and just tossed it out the window. Would have been a funny little bit of carnage, I think. I would have had a good time doing that anyway. So we got a key to the mine in there, and we get another red herb right here. Obviously, the mine key utilized in this mine door right here. And we are on through. Alright, real quick what I'd like to do is I want to get a flash grenade out. Got another one of those little situations where it is just very handy to toss one of these out immediately to give ourselves a little bit of breathing room. Heading down here, we're going to see some recycled content from earlier. Kick in this door. And we've got another descending ceiling trap here, with some plagas some Type 3 plagas wandering around. We're just going to immediately throw down a flash grenade, because that will instantly kill these guys, taking them out of the picture. This, ceiling trap does descend a little bit faster than the previous one, but with the superior handling of the blacktail, we can easily whip around to hit all of these lights. Note that it is possible to actually aim at the lights from the door like we could with the previous ceiling trap, but unlike that ceiling trap, these lights do not actually become shootable until the trap is activated, so you can't cheese it out like you could the first trap. Inside this little casket here, you can find a good amount of pesetas. Again, the game is just being awfully gracious with all the money here. I appreciate it. They're making sure you can buy some of those upgrades. We will actually be having a few exclusive upgrades becoming available in the very near future. As a matter of fact, if you still have the basic handgun and the bolt-action rifle, the exclusives for those guns become available at this point if you've purchased all upgrades for them. The handgun, of course, gets its 5 times critical rate, which is a pretty fun, but not super reliable, and also not particularly good ability. The bolt-action rifle, if you remember in this version, gets a firepower upgrade to 18. Not at all worth the myriad of cons associated with using the gun, but in future releases, it'll be 30 firepower, which can be worth it in some select situations, but it's not something I really care about. Over here, we'll take this green herb, and honestly, I'm kind of tempted to yeah, you know what? I'm just going to take the health upgrade, honestly. We'll save that red herb for later. It seems like it would be kind of a waste to use it. We have a good amount of healing items here. Time for a minecart sequence, which honestly seems like a bit of a missed opportunity to not have this in the last chapter, but what do I know? Let's get to it. Shooting this lever right here will activate the cart, and we want to get to the back. What I would like to do here is utilize my TMP. We'll notice that some enemies are standing on the scaffolding over there. If we can shoot them before they get a chance to jump into the cart, they will hit the track and instantly die. Let's see, that one guy managed to get over, so we will just try to take out that lady there. And, oh boy, God. That was close, that was close. Also be careful, because these guys will periodically throw their weapons at you. Let's just take some TMP shots there to take that guy out. Unfortunately, I do not exactly have an excess of TMP ammo, and I would kind of like to save it for later, so we will just stow that for the time being. Heading over here, if I can just get some of these blacktail shots lined up. It's a lot easier to do this, like so many other distance shooting things, it's a lot easier to do this in the HD version, where you just have a higher resolution to work with, and the laser seems to be brighter over greater distances. How much handgun ammo do we have? Not a whole lot, so we will be sticking to the striker for most of this minecart sequence. Coming over this way, we'll have a little block of wood coming up here. When it gets close, all you have to do is hit the QTE. There is another option you have for dealing with that, which we will show off in a little bit. I'm actually not going to shoot any enemies down here. There's a couple items off to the side here. What we're going to do is let these guys come into us, because we've got another Dr. Salvador. You encounter this guy a ton of times, or at the very least his extended family here. I feel like we got a bit of a Nurse Joy and Officer Jenny situation going on with Dr. Salvador. His whole family made it through medical school. Honestly, a impressive accomplishment. Now, because that lever has been hit, the cart is not going to move. Oh, or maybe it will. Oh, God. That actually threw me off pretty badly. Whoops. I was not expecting that. You're supposed to shoot that, lever to get the cart moving, but then it just decided to keep going on its own, so maybe there is a bit of a time limit on that. I don't know. Anyways, we're going to take out Salvador here because he does drop a generous amount of pesetas for us if we take him down, eventually. And I'm just going to send a bunch of these guys down with some wildly fired striker shots. Hey, managed to get this guy to land in the minecart. Pretty funny, pretty funny. Not exactly useful. When the minecart is hitting a turn, you actually can't leap between it. Now, one thing you can do to deal with these wood blocks is instead of hitting the QTE, you can just shoot right through them, which is pretty helpful. We've got a fourth Dr. Salvador coming up here. We just can't get away from this guy. It's ridiculous. How am I not hitting anyone? Anyways, we're just going to spam blacktail shots at this guy to take him out. Pretty effective in my estimation. A bit ammo inefficient, which is the main drawback of the blacktail going forward in the game, but it's not the end of the world. And hey, we're getting some handgun ammo back to soften the blow on my reserve, so that's okay. As a matter of fact, I would like to check this. Let me just shoot right through this. Okay, shotgun shells. We still need some of those, so I will actually take those with no hesitation. Let us pull out our striker here to send a couple of these guys down to the ground and ideally kill them. And those guys over there, I'm actually just going to leave them because watch what happens here. Leon cannot hop over the minecarts when it is hitting a turn, and neither can these guys. This also, oh God, we're clipping through. This also does not really assist these guys' aim too well, so they are just going to be stuck there. And it's going to be a pretty unenviable position for them because we're at the end of this wild ride. That is an impressive jump there. Leon just shut off gravity entirely to make that one, I feel like. But hey, it works. Kind of reminds me of that one scene at the end of Dead to Rights where Jack Slate jumps off a motorcycle, blows it up, and uses the propulsion from the explosion to send himself into a plane that is flying away from him. It is beautiful. It is a wonderful scene. If you've never seen that, look it up. Look up the Dead to Rights plane scene. There we go, we get the Stone of Sacrifice, which is what we came here for. I gotta say, this chapter has been moving very quickly and efficiently. I am a big fan of it. It's a nice little bit of progression we got going here. With that Stone of Sacrifice, and with that doorway open, we find out that that trap door that we opened up before actually leads right here. You can go back down if you want to, but there is no way to return to where you leapt from the minecart, so not too much is accomplished there if you take that route. Offer the sacrifice to the lion? Well, I just so happen to have a handy-dandy Stone of Sacrifice right here. Alrighty, pretty good stuff, pretty good stuff. But, that is not all we will be seeing in this video. We are mostly done here, but there's a couple things I could do in the HD version real quick, just to demonstrate some things, because there is a very minute, but somewhat appreciated change in the HD version. So let's save our progress here and pop over to that real quick. What do you say? Now, something a bit weird to mention in this chapter in every version starting from the PS2 version, you can find some additional spinels in this room. You'll find one just by the wall there. Then, if you shoot this brazier here, you'll find another spinel there. And if you look in this little sand pile, a third spinel. My best guess as to why these spinels were added is for the PS2 version specifically. There were, of course, fewer zealots during the cult meeting scene, two less to be specific. So I guess they just decided to add some spinels here to compensate for the ones you would have missed out on earlier. There are a handful of spinels that were missing in the PS2 version, and I believe one Velvet Blue that was actually in the GameCube version, but not in the PS2 version, but I don't know these super well offhand. This is just one specific instance where a ton of treasure has been added. As has been the norm for the HD version at this point, I also feel like it behooves me to show off what happens when you are not so on the ball with Leon, when this ride is coming to its rather sudden conclusion. Oh boy. Not a good day for Leon in the world of HD Resident Evil. We've just been killing him like crazy here. Yeah, I figured I'd just show that off because it's been the norm. It's been the norm. Anyway, I'll just play this out and finish it on my own time. But I would just like to say that I hope you've enjoyed watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Actually, I didn't realize the continue would take me all the way back here. Well, I will still play it out on my own time when I feel like it. That is the change here. But so, yeah, hope you enjoyed watching. Hope to see you next time. Until then, though, goodbye.
I don't dispute the doubts you've outlined, but it's my right to waste your time.